We make the streams.
Alright guys, so what we have behind me is I think potentially the new dad wagon, and I don't know, I know a lot of you Saab guys are going to be upset, but what we have here is this is a 2014 BMW 328D all-wheel drive. Basically it is a 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel, turbo diesel. It has basically like a variable vane turbo on it. People get between 30 and 45 miles a gallon on these things. Yeah, it wasn't, it was a run-and drive special. Obviously you could see that it was hit in the side right here and pushed in right there. But we're playing with the battery stuff. Battery's pretty much discharged, and when we tried jumping it when it was up on the trailer, it just didn't work. So then we had to lay up underneath it, use like a little 5mm screw to like tell the transmission that it was in park, or actually that's like this little mechanical thing that pushes it up into park. And yeah, so right now the battery's charging, trying to get some juice into it. We finally got things to turn on, but I think I'm gonna come back here tomorrow and start messing with it and actually see if we can get it fired up. Alright guys, so we are at the shop again today. So I left the battery charger on this guy on the 24-hour thing. So you can see we're at 13-some volts. So we'll go ahead and turn this thing off. I think that just gives her the nice little trickle. So one of our concerns, basically it just wasn't starting. So we attempted to start it last night when it was up on the car carrier, and they kind of shocked some stuff over here, and it went, you know. But supposedly they actually were able to jump start it at the auction and pull it up on the trailer, which that thing was absolutely insane. It's like a 5-car hauler that you could tow with a dually. I really need one of those. We were concerned that maybe one of these fuses back here, because there's like this big control board, and then you can see all those fuses right there. So we were taking all this stuff off, looking at it, and then you could see, I think this is one of those ones where if it gets in a wreck, it like has like that little thing where it goes and disconnects the thing. So gonna go ahead and pull off this stuff, hook up the battery, and actually see if we could get this thing to start, because it was only getting like 6 volts up front last night. And then this back thing right here, so this, I don't know what exactly hit this whole situation right here. You could see that. It almost, I don't know, I mean something hit it right there. I'm pretty stoked to actually have myself a 328D wagon. So this should be replacing the Saab. But yeah, look at that. I mean, it's kind of a basic interior. All right, guys. So I think I'm a little bit of a goof. So we disconnected this last night, and it was giving me a bunch of error codes and a bunch of little things like that. And so I think I'm crossing my fingers, but hopefully this will actually work now. But maybe I'll go get Ty, see if I can get him to come film a little bit of this from the outside when we actually try doing the first start. So, Ty. 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 What's up? Alright guys, so thanks to Cove for sponsoring this video. I've been using their wireless Bluetooth headphones. These are their Solitude series, and they're absolutely amazing. They have over 12 hours of battery runtime on a single charge. They have active noise canceling, so like you've seen Ty, like he literally couldn't hear me at all when I had to like yell at him. A microphone built in, so you could do Bluetooth hands-free calling. Like let's say I was out in the shop sanding with something with my DA, using these things as like headphones, like to, you know, so where I can't hear the freaking loud sander, or you know, I can answer a phone call, do something like that, blast the music. And the nice thing is, I have some other headphones, but they don't fold up like this. You can see these things fold up super nice, and they come with like this nice little travel bag. Really awesome headphones. You could use my code MA65, which saves you 65% off. And literally, if you guys read the reviews on these things, there's nothing that touches these things for the price point. Like absolutely nothing. Like if you want to get something that's better than these, I don't know what you could get for, especially like the price that but be sure to go check out the website, go use the code and see how cheap they actually are. Again, I really appreciate Cove for sponsoring this video, and I'm going to go back out in the shop now. I'm going to go see if this BMW starts. Thank you, Cove. What it's doing, transmission is not in park, but the e-brake's up, and it's in neutral right there because we manually put it in. So let's see what this thing does. Put my foot on the brake. See, and then it goes, and then it doesn't do anything. Exhaust fluid malfunction, not possible to start. Engine consultant nearest service center. So I wonder if that's something. This whole situation is just weird. Like having a car that you literally like cannot put in neutral, and where the diesel exhaust fluid malfunction could cause this thing from not actually start. Like that's kind of stupid. Like that's like the bad thing about having a newer vehicle like this. But I mean, I guess if we get it all fixed, and maybe we'll give her the old delete, or we'll figure it out, and then we'll get like 45 miles a gallon. Guys, so if you ever have an issue with your BMW and you need to put it in neutral, what you need to do is right here is this little thing. See that lever up there? You loosen this thing and it'll take it out of neutral. So last night what we had to do to actually get it in neutral on the car carrier was pull this down and basically screw that in, and that allows the car to be put in neutral. Supposedly there's like a little sequence that you could do like electronically, like pull it back twice and then wait and then hold it for 5 seconds, and then it'll supposedly put it in neutral, but we couldn't get that to work because the battery was too dead. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, screw that thing back down, and then we're gonna see if that'll let the vehicle start now. All right, back to your regular scheduled programming. Let's see if this thing starts now. Okay. I don't know if there's any less lights on it or not. Let's see. No! That's not doing anything. Dang it. Why? So it's in park. You could hear it like go. Starter ignition malfunction. It is not possible to restart the engine. Please call roadside assistance. Let's see if what I did worked. Alright, so we have power now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I did to do that. So everything seemed okay back here. So I have a jump box now actually connected to this positive cable. So I took this right here and I was checking the voltage, and this had 1 volt on it. And I think there might be a little fuse right here, because there was 12 volts on this side and no volts on this side. And you can see this positive cable goes right here and it goes up over the engine. And I think that might go, there's another one, you can see that. No, I don't know. So there's either a fuse or some sort of something right there that's not letting that go past. And I think that happens when you get in a wreck of some sort. So it starts and runs now. So I guess maybe we should go for a little drive and see how it is. Alright, so backing it out. Now I really like this backup camera. It's got a bunch of check engine lights, so it's upset. It's upset about something, and I think I'm gonna have to actually ratchet strap this door closed because the door doesn't have anything. But yeah, it's kind of it beeps at me a bunch of times, which is cool. But we're taking it for a little drive. It's it was 69 degrees out a minute ago. It was mad. It was telling me that the battery wasn't recharging. But it drives nice. It's not as, feels really torquey. You can't really hear the turbo. Yeah, but I mean, feels like it drives pretty decent. Alright, so just got back from the little drive and put it in sport mode, and actually feels like kind of sporty. Didn't really drive it around too far, maybe about a mile or two, just kind of feel it out and make sure everything's doing alright. One of the other things is it's showing me that the battery is not charging, and I confirm that. The battery in the back has 11.8 volts, whereas the one in the front on that other post that wasn't connected that had like 1 volt now has 14.5 volts, and the battery in the back has 11.8 volts. So it's not charging it. There's some sort of fuse in between them or something that got mad or whatever, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and diagnose that, figure out the exact fuse that is doing that, because there's some cables and little jumper things, so I'm gonna double check all that stuff, and then we'll see. Alright, so I just ended up using a little wire to kind of jump back and forth around those things. I'll show you guys here in a little bit minute. But I just want to go ahead and wash this thing, get a good look at it, see if there's any other panels that are scratched or have any other major issues. Initially I didn't think that the quarter panel was going to be damaged, but you can see down right here it has all that stuff, and then you can see right there there's some issues as well as this lower rocker, so we need to kind of figure out all that stuff. Giving it that nice spotless water treatment, courtesy of CR Spotless over there. Got a whole obsessed garage set up over there. I just need to clean the wheels. It looks good from this side. When you come over here, yeah, I took off all the auction numbers and stuff. Got a little bit of the tape off. Still need to take a little bit off on the roof, but yeah, looks a lot better now. Alright, so this thing is looking a lot better. It's nice and clean, well, at least for the most part. On this side, this other side looks really nice. I like the way this side looks. So, if you guys could see right down here, it's kind of hard to see a lot of that damage in that little panel right there. So one of the main things I need to do is actually just take off the door, and other than that, I don't really think I could do much tonight other than kind of gather a parts list on stuff, what I actually need to do. But I found a rear wagon door locally, I found a front door locally. Now I just need to kind of see if they've cut some stuff out. Obviously, I'm going to need a side skirt now, and then actually have to go up into this quarter panel a little bit. But we're going to have to do that, see if we'll actually be able to pull this thing, or if I'm going to have to do kind of this whole like B-pillar thing. But take it apart and go from there. So I got the door off of this thing. Wasn't too big of a deal. There's a little bit of a crunch down here where it was kind of folded down underneath it, so I had to kind of pry that out. So this door hinge on the bottom is obviously going to need replaced. And I'm not sure if we could get away with just kind of pulling some stuff right here. I think we could probably just, you know, get it on a frame rack and start tugging this stuff sideways and get that all kind of nice right there. Because I'd rather not, you know, cut and weld and splice into all this stuff and having to, you know, cut in the quarter panel like halfway through and then weld it. So I think that's probably going to be the option. Obviously replace the door, the front door as well, this side curtain airbag, and then the actual airbag in the seat. So I think we might be able to replace this, and then I'm just going to have Jamie watch some YouTube videos and maybe sew it up. Or if you guys have any options. The front seat belt is locked in it, and then the airbag control module, I'm going to have to send that out, and basically what happens is they reprogram that stuff, and then all your fault codes and error codes and everything go away. But yeah, I think this door took most of the damage, and I don't know what it actually hit. I don't know if it was a car, or if it was like a motorcycle, or something like that, because it hit right in the door, and there's not really any scuffs. So there's a little puncture right here, but I really don't know. Like, I don't know what actually happened to it. Doesn't really look like there's any damage right here, or, you know, from like pushing it in. I mean, there might be actually a little bit, but yeah, it's just kind of an interesting situation. So I do think it's a really good looking wagon. I like the 3 Series wagons over like the 5 Series ones. I think they just look a little bit more sporty, and I think if we get this thing lowered down and some nice wheels, tinted windows, and do some other little stuff, I think it would be a freaking amazing daily, getting like, you know, 35 to 45 miles a gallon, which will be crazy. So we did drive this thing around a little bit ago, and it's not the most impressive thing in the world, but it does have a lot of torque. 8-speed automatic transmission, and it shifts through the gears real nice, and then kind of stays in the torque band. And again, the mileage is the kind of the biggest thing. So yeah, we are still kind of looking for something for Jamie. I was kind of looking for her, like a mommy SUV, and I've been kind of looking for something like this for me. I've had the Saab, basically Saabs for like the past 4 or 5 years as daily drivers, and I just kind of wanted to swap over to something else. So this has been kind of one of those cars on the list, and I figure if I want to go fast, you know, I have the Civic, I have the Supra, I have the freaking R8, I have all that stuff, and sometimes it would just be nice to get in something, you know, quiet, smooth, super reliable. I mean, obviously, like my Saab is you know, pretty quiet and smooth, but it's not as quiet and smooth as this. And it did recently just get totaled out by hail damage, so that's kind of been another bummer. You know, so every time I look at the car, it just has a bunch of little hail dings, and it's not really worth it to me to go around and paint that whole thing right now. So Saab might be for sale here soon. Jamie might be getting this as a daily, and I might look for something else, or this is probably gonna be my daily, and we're still gonna find her an SUV. But she drives a lot more car miles than I do, because most of the time when I drive somewhere far, I'm taking the truck. But that is kind of thing. So if you guys have any suggestions for little tuners or little performance mods and stuff for this, I know there's a tuner out there that has like, gives it like 30 horse and like 70 torque. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a rad little daily for me or Jamie or both of us or something like that. I've had a couple people ask me about this little Allen tool set. So this is something that I got kind of right before we started working on Audi, and this is a gear wrench set. And I'll actually put the link to in the description. I got this off of Amazon, and even Brandon, the paint and bodywork neighbor, he ended up buying one off Amazon because they actually didn't have it on the tool truck, and he works on a lot of Audis and just, you know, random stuff where you just need like absolutely all these torque spits and big Allens and all that stuff, and it even has the security ones too. So that's a really nice thing to have, especially if you're working on BMWs, Audis, Saabs, you know, you kind of always need that type of stuff. And I was using this little Milwaukee extended ratchet. I'm not sure if these ones are actually on the Amazon, but I'll put the link in the description. These things are actually really cool. You wouldn't think that it would be that nice, but it kind of gives it more of a ratchet feel to it, where you could get the head in somewhere tight, versus this, you kind of have to be able to get the whole tool in there. I'm rambling. I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching, and we're going to order some parts, and I guess go from there. But see you guys later.